Little roller back to the mound. There's McGrain. He'll race to first base. He'll do it by himself. And the Monarchs have won it. Reign Reborn reigns again. Well, the last time we saw this gentleman was back on September 20th, as you just heard right there. Here he is, Joe Cathpietra. And Joe, first thing, great to see your smiling face. How are you doing? What have you been doing since September 20th?
Yeah, we're just enjoying the moment, really, Dan. It's great to see you and great to talk about baseball.
Let's start with the news. Let's just get the news first out of the way. A signing, a couple of things that have happened. Really, you've wound up those trades that you made earlier. One of them with the Nick Franklin deal with Sioux City brought the ball club Nick Belzer, and also the Will Kinger deal with Milwaukee brought the club Brandon Coach. A couple of arms right there. What can you tell us about those two early additions to the roster?
Yeah, two guys that we were looking at when we made those deals, late in the 2021 season, guys that we were looking at that could possibly help us in the 2022 season that were low classification guys. They were still with organizations at the time, so we did not have them per se. We had their reversionary rights, but so happens they did get released with Major League Baseball, and we were able to sign them. So their classifications really fit in and their ability level. I was coveting both of those guys when they signed elsewhere last year in 2021. So I kind of had my eyes on them. And then when we were able to make, the deals with both Will, and Nick, they were guys that I kind of wanted in the deal.
Joe, how much of that goes on for you during the season when you're making deals and you're maybe you're not going to get a guy now, but do you have a place maybe in your virtual Rolodex, you write a name down and say, this is a guy that maybe I'm going to keep an eye on? Do you do a lot of that?
Well, you have to, you have to have a plan for the future. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We had a couple, reversionary rights in our pockets this year that the players never got released and the fans never got a chance to see them. Fortunate for the player, they stayed with the Major League affiliate team. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little bit of a crapshoot, but sometimes you just you play it and you see how it works out. And these two occasions, it worked out that we picked up some pretty good young talent.
As far as other moves, for example, yesterday we see that Eric Stout's rights are back. Explain to the fans what that means, because it looks like, oh, I see the transaction sheet. Well, Eric Stout's back, but not necessarily, but doesn't mean he's not back. How does that work when you get the rights to a player back like yesterday?
Well, when we sign a player, we have their rights for the 2022 season or the option year for them, which would be the 2022 season. We just have to acknowledge to the player that we are bringing them, if they are going to play independent baseball, we would like to have them back. That does not mean that he is going to be in Kansas City. His ultimate goal is to pitch in the big league. So all that could happen. Eric, if he is playing independent baseball, loves Kansas City, feels comfortable here. He would be back here if, independent baseball is the option. So that's where we're at with him. So it's kind of a formality, kind of paperwork that we have to kind of wrap up before that date of November 10th.
The voice you hear is Joe Cathpietra, the manager of the year of the American Association. I'm Dan Vaughn, voice of the Kansas City Monarchs, and you are listening and watching to Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Joe, I mentioned the manager of the year. Rewarded with the contract extension, I guess, about a week ago now. Pretty exciting news. I know you were excited. I love the quote you had and how thankful you were. Walk us through that. I think that was a slam dunk. I think the final thing when I walked out the door to head to Texas, I said, we get some news on Joe soon, I hope. And we got that news. Tell us about the contract extension.
Yeah, it was very nice. I mean, Jay contacted me shortly after the season. And listen, it's no secret. This is where, I want to be, my family wants to be. So, when Jay contacted me and said that, the ownership, Mr. Brandemeyer and, would like to continue to add on another, year to my contract. It's a no-brainer for us, and very excited and honored and, privileged to continue to, represent the organization. That's all.
Looking at, I mean, you're still got, I say legacy because you're still very young in this thing. So take that for what it's worth, folks. But you've done something that's never been done here. I mean, in this franchise, going back to Duluth, all-time winningest manager. This franchise had never had back-to-back winning seasons. Now I've got 4 consecutive winning seasons, playoffs, 2 championships, division titles. You're starting to add some things up. Has that sunk in yet, legacy-wise, or because you're still in the moment, you don't really think about that? Because you've got a heck of a legacy just in Kansas City. I know you have New Jersey and previous stops, but boy, what a legacy you've got right here.
Well, I appreciate it. It motivates the heck out of me. That's what it does. I mean, because it is, it's something that you want to keep going, and that's, it's more than thinking about a legacy. And I guess when you retire and it's all over, I guess I'll think about that more. Now it's just major motivation to keep this train rolling. And that's all I'm thinking about. I know what's going on. I feel it. And that it's the motivation of every day waking up and understanding what we're building and what we need to continue to do to keep it going, because you can't take a lax on this, because there's a lot of people that are very, very good that are doing this, and you have to stay on top of your game to continue to try to be successful.
This is Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Dan Vaughn with you, and we're along with Joe Cathpietra, manager of the Monarchs here. All right, let's go back to 21 now. You and I had this conversation a couple of times, and you've had a little over a month now to kind of soak it all in. Have you soaked it in finally? Because I know during that heck of a ride, you're very focused. I know you very well. You're very focused on the matter at hand. But have you had a chance to kick back and prop your feet up and say, "Dang, that was good"?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I look at pictures and I see the faces and I see my face, and how excited everyone was and the joy. And, that's when you really look at it and say, wow, that was really good. And, you let go a little bit and you kind of take that deep breath and say, wow, the players and all the number of players and the staff and so many people involved and so many people were so excited about it. It was just a great ride for so many people. And I'm just excited to get the opportunity to be able to try to do it again.
At what point during the season did you realize this could be something special? Was there a certain point? Was there a game, a moment? Was there a time that you said, you know what, this has got a really big chance to be a really big thing?
I think the turning point I really feel was when we were in Jackson. We didn't have a great series in Jackson. And then I believe we were going to Lincoln or coming from Lincoln.
Coming from Lincoln. Darnell Swinney had a home run in the 9th to give us the series win. Went to Tennessee, and you're right. It was Lincoln, then to Tennessee.
Yeah. And we lost Carlos at that Lincoln series, and then we lost Jan, and we didn't. If I remember correctly, I don't know how we played in the Lincoln series, but I just felt like we didn't play great, and then I know we didn't play great in the Jackson series.
Right.
And we lost 2 key components. We were losing guys all throughout, and we won that last game in Lincoln, and we lost that. I mean, we won that last game in Lincoln, and we won that last game in Jackson. And I thought those two kind of end games were two big games that kind of got us going. And then, we kind of got on a little, momentum and really got moving.
This is Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Dan Vaughn talking with Joe Capietro. Yes, that it's funny you bring that series up, the Lincoln Jackson, because I've been putting up these little booth cam moments, and the second one was that I actually pulled was the Darno run in that series win there in Lincoln. A very memorable time there. Just looking at those memorable moments, and you brought it up. You lost players left and right. I mean, the league, it was for a league that usually loses quite a few anyway. It was an exceptional year when players being the word now transferred. The Monarchs led the league by a mile in transfers, and yet you still were able to do what you did. That to me, and this is what I've said over and over again, that to me is the program. That is what we do. That's what you do. The goal is to win while getting those players to chase those major league dreams. I would say you did a pretty heck of a good job with that this year, Joe.
It was, thank you. But it was, the players getting the opportunity, and when they get the opportunity, it feeds. And the whole league on a whole, just, the managers across the board. I mean, the league just broke all kinds of records, getting guys back to affiliates, and it's just so good for our whole league on a whole that the reputation that we're getting, we're the premier league in independent baseball now, I feel, and it's growing.
For the fans that have never heard us talk before, I bring this up all the time on the air, and you and I talk about it all the time as well on that same topic, though. But players talk. I mean, they talk amongst former teammates, current team, what guys they played with them in college or whatever. Are you hearing what because I'm hearing, just as a broadcaster, a lot of really, really good things about what the Monarchs are doing. Are you hearing the same thing out there when you talk to players? Are they saying, I've heard about you guys. I really want to be a part of what you guys got going on?
I think they talk with the actions when they sign the contract, and I think that's their final, talk. I think you hear it and other people hear it, players talk and agents talk and things like that. I think I get it at the end when I get the call and say, hey, I'd really like to come into Kansas City. But that's what you hope,
Right.
You really hope that's, it goes with anything, you treat people right, you look out for their best interests, and then you hope that everything comes back in another way. And, you lose players for a reason, and, players are coming in, playing independent baseball to move on and to have a chance to play in the major leagues. And that's why, that's what this is all. Oh boy. That's what this is all about.
That's what it sounds like in our pregame interviews sometimes when that phone starts ringing. Joe and I've only got about 100 of those sound bites from during the season. As we wrap this thing up, again, it's Reign Reborn.
I lost your picture.
You lost my picture? Well, yes. I still got you. I got you. You're doing good. You're all good. You're doing good on my end. Reign Reborn with the Kansas City Monarchs. Dan Vaughn and Joe Capietro here with you. Let's see here. And I ask you this when the name change and the rebrand, the Kansas City Monarchs, and you were really excited about that. How do you feel now, a year into this Monarchs rebrand? How you feeling now with the championship in your belt, representing the Monarchs name, the brand? How was that experience this year as a Monarch?
Yeah, I mean, it's neat. I mean, there's nothing that you could say different. I mean, the attraction in the city of Kansas City, just seeing the people around town with the jerseys and the hats and the stadium, it's exciting, and it's the tradition of going way, way back. And when you mention the names that played for the Kansas City Monarchs,
Right.
it's awing. I don't even, if that's even a proper word. So to mention, Jackie Robinson and Satchel Paige and Buck O'Neill and all the great players, and just saying that you're a part of the new tradition of the Kansas City Monarchs, it's the most humbling thing that you could possibly imagine.
Couple more things to wrap things up here on Reign Reborn, talking with Joe Campietra. Let's see here. The news yesterday, Savannah Bananas are coming to town. Your thoughts on that? I think you told me that one of your daughters actually sent you a video and said, look at these guys. It looks like a lot of fun. We going to see you in any kind of crazy costume, or are you just going to be watching from a distance, or what? What's the story there? What your thoughts on the Bananas?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's going to be fun for the fans. It's something that's entertaining, and I've done a little research on it. So whatever Jay wants me to do and be a part of it, he'll let me know. But I'm sure he'll want me to be as far away as possible so I don't get hurt.
Jay, did you hear that? Jay Hendricks, our GM, did you hear that? What lies ahead in the offseason? Walk us through what you're doing now. What is the Joe Campietra game plan? What is the offseason? Because I've always said what you do now, obviously, is, and that's even in my business or in the front office, what you do now, it translates to July. What are you doing now?
Just kind of setting up, from day to day, just laying the groundwork, putting feelers out. The World Series is underway, and then soon, winter meetings and things like that. So players will start, there'll be some releases and there'll be some decisions made on players. Right. Then players will start making decisions in January and February in which direction, if they're going to winter, if they're going to overseas. And so you just kind of laying the groundwork. So when things start falling, you're in place, and some fall your way, some don't. And you just try to get in as many lines as you can. So when things start falling, then maybe they fall your way.
Final thing, I noticed, I guess about a couple weeks ago, maybe right when you got back to Philadelphia, the Philadelphia area, one of your local hotspots that you frequent honored you. Tell us about that. Is that, first off, it sounds like that place may be fabulous to eat at. Number two, tell us about the welcoming you got at your favorite hotspot there in town.
It was nice. It is a hotspot. The kids love going there. We all love going there. And,
what's the name?
Collegeville Bakery, and
okay.
It's really a place that we frequent often, and really nice people. I've known the owners for a long time, and so that it was nice. I signed a bat, and they put it on the wall with a picture, and it was nice. There's a lot of nice things happening, and I'm just flattered and motivated, I guess. I use the word motivated because I'm, this is all motivation to get going for this upcoming year, because just excited for 2022.
Joe, appreciate your time. We're going to have you on, I believe, every month or so, every 5 or 6 weeks. We get this technology
I'm
thing
getting
rolling.
good at this, Dan.
You're getting good. You know what?
It
may come down to a situation next summer where I can sit in the press box and we can just do this, and I don't even have to come out of the clubhouse, and you don't have to worry about me being in there, and we can just kick at it, and I won't bug you.
I don't know if I'm going to be that good. I don't know if I'm going to be that good.
I appreciate your time. Much love to you and the family. Give everybody our best, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Take care.